Whew. Okay, first dreaded video out of the way, but we still have more of Virtuoso. Look, there's just not much unique to talk about with the Power version, but that is luckily something I can't say about the Condi version. Which is kind of ironic. Force Signets usually is not a good sign for an active and engaging playstyle, but the Mesmer Signets are some of the more interesting ones. It's crazy what you can do with them if you give them more than just some passive stats, a stun break, and maybe a bit of damage. If Chrono was all about spamming Phantasms and Mirage played around clones, then Condi Virtuoso goes in hard on the Shatter spam. And yes, I'm going to keep calling them Shatters, not Blade Songs, because they're functionally identical, and I'm petty like that. Well, okay, there's one difference in that all of the Virtuoso Shatters have a cast time, and it's hard not to notice considering just how much you use them with this build. You stack more blades by inflicting bleeding, and basically everything you do also does bleeding, which is why you see some weird choices on this for a Condi build, like Focus for example, because the Focus Phantasm simply does more individual hits, which in turn procs many more stacks of bleeding. To make this work, Condi Virtuoso is one of the few builds that needs 100% crit chance. You don't just need to get close to it, you need 100% crit chance. Even overcapping on Condi Virtuoso is better than risking going under the threshold. Just don't use accuracy sigils to get there. This is a common bit of knowledge among Mesmer players, but those don't apply to Phantasms, which means they're just generally terrible on Mesmer at all times. So that's the reason Condi Virtuoso runs almost exclusively Rampager's gear, which unfortunately also means you kind of need to choose between it and Mirage or make two separate Condi sets because they're just entirely gear incompatible with one another. But Condi Virtuoso might just be worth the weird gear. The shatter-centric nature of the build makes it pretty intuitive and easy to pick up. Anything you do stacks blades, blades get you shatters, shatters are your main damage. Very easy. It's also easily run as a fully ranged build, has 2 defensive shatters, and you have access to constant self-healing based on your outgoing Condi damage, and it's quite a bit, which is honestly just kind of busted. You also still have all of the benefits of being a Mesmer. One more time, you've got all of the utility you could want in and out of combat. Reflect, Boonstrip, Cleanse, OK Stat, good CC, and you're the only Condi build in the game that can reasonably run Focus, which is still the best pull in the game. And, you know, of course, outside of that, you have the portals and invisibility. But that's out of combat, so that's not Virtuoso specific. Yeah, overall, I'd say this is a pretty good build, and I happily recommend this over the Power variant any day.